Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin, and you should give me a rose.
No, I'm Mathieu Fondin, and you should give me a rose.
This is On a Cloud, a mother and son Bachelor podcast, and welcome to the second episode of The Bachelorette.
Our fourth episode.
Yes.
Yeah, this one was a pretty good one.
This is a good episode. Even though it was the Jordan show.
But that's fine for me. Like, we talked about this last night, but we are elbow deep in garbage, but it's okay garbage. It's not like heavy, gross drama weirdness.
Jordan garbage is kind of funny, I think. I was actually laughing a lot.
You were. All right, well, let's not get into that yet, because that's on the tail end of the episode. Let's start with the first date. We had 3 dates this ep.
And first of all, Chris Harrison walks into the house, and often Chris Harrison will do this, that he says to the candidates, like, hey, the Bachelorette is very serious about this, guys.
He gives them kind of a dad talk where it's like, listen, my daughter needs to be taken seriously.
So, you know, the boys got that talk before he put down the group date card. Well, actually, we don't know it's a group date card at the time. He puts down the date card.
Which is funny because he comes in and says, take this seriously. But this is immediately preceded by, like, a promo showing all the boys goofing off, yelling at each other, saying, like, you took my photograph.
Yeah, and then coming out wearing pink shorts from a bus.
Yeah, or getting naked, stripping down all their clothing and getting naked. Anyways, whatever. So the first group date had
like 7 men.
Who are not mentioned except for 3 men, one of whom gets the first impression rose, the other 2 of whom yell at each other for the next half hour.
Yeah.
So they all get in little tuxedos. There's this very funny kind of cute scene with Becca just like in the middle of this tornado of men changing. This just like
she doesn't even leave the room. She like stays in the room, and they're like, "Well, where do we get dressed?" And
she's like, "You can get dressed here." And she's like trying to cover her eyes, but trying to peek at the same time. And she's like, "Wow, everyone here is very well built," which they are.
And she mentions that like Lincoln has the most buff body.
He does.
Which he actually does.
It's an extremely good body.
Yeah. Jordan does a little catwalk for the group.
Oh my god, I forgot all about this. It left my memory.
And so this is when Becca finds out that Jordan's a model at that particular moment.
Yes, it is.
So they're all prettied up. All the boys are all prettied up, and Becca's wearing a white dress.
Yeah.
And then they all go outside, where they are met by Rachel Lindsay and Brian Abalasso, the couple from...
name? I did not remember his last name.
Yeah, the couple from season 13 of The Bachelorette.
Yes, and it's excellent because Rachel's extremely good. They introduce the rules of the game, which is like, we have this every season. It's kind of
like an obstacle course.
It's a double dare physical challenge, like get down and dirty to prove your worth.
And so what was the theme? I can't remember. You said it was something like forgetting your exes, but how was that forgetting your exes?
It was all marriage, and it was like, basically, you had to drag your way across the old ball and chain, and you have to dump the flowers into the trash from Ari's flowers. Oh. And you have to get into the cold pool because we want you to be in a cold pool, basically.
No, it was like, in case you get cold feet.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. It was cold feet.
Whatever.
And then you had to dig through a cake, but there were only 2 wedding cakes for a ring.
Yeah.
In each of the cakes.
And you were not allowed to use their hands, but every boy was using their hands because they were covered in mud, and you're not gonna like smash your face into a mud cake.
Yeah, because they actually had to like crawl through some sort of like garden with chicken wiring over it or something like that. Yeah. It was like a mud pit with chicken wire.
Now, important context for this. The Bachelor / Bachelorette has a lot of games like this. None of them mean anything if you win. Like, they've never been like, oh, you win, you get to marry the girl now. Or you don't even get more time, really. You just get to see her first for the most part.
Yeah, and then sometimes, very rarely, you'll get the group date rose, sorry.
Not for winning, never ever for winning. Not from when I've seen the show. It's for good sportsmanship most often. So like if someone is scared of, say, crashing cars or bumper cars,
that's true.
Which did happen once, then they will get the first impression the first group date rose for being good and standing up to their fear of cars or something, even though they didn't do that well.
Exactly. So in this case, for the group date, Lincoln wins the obstacle course challenge.
Now, this is a point of contention for the other boys.
Yes, they think he cheated. I mean, they flashed a camera to the part where he was standing in the ice cold water, and they had a sand, what do you call those things?
Hourglass.
An hourglass. And he was kind of shaking.
What are those sand clocks from back in the Egyptian times?
He was shaking the hourglass to make the sand go faster, I guess. They showed it,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
he was shaking it a little. But I mean...
Hey, no one said that was illegal.
Yeah, they just said you have to wait till the sand reaches the bottom.
It is cheating, but it's like everyone used their hands on the cake, too. That's also cheating. Like, no one complained about that. It's fine, whatever. I think some of the boys didn't realize this was as light as it was meant to be as a game.
Yeah, exactly.
So they got a little disgruntled about it, but...
They got super competitive. So Lincoln...
This snowballs later on.
Yeah, so Lincoln gets to take a picture with Becca, who's waiting at the altar under a, I don't know, what is it? It's under one of those awning thing, gazebo. It's like a little teeny tiny gazebo, though, yeah. So Becca's standing underneath this awning with, I guess, flowers, waiting for her guy.
Yeah, flowers, I think.
Yeah, she's waiting for the guy with the ring, and it's this humongous plastic ring.
Yeah, and all the boys look like they've just crawled through dumpsters. Like, they're all
They're disgusting, because they're filled with cake and mud.
Yeah, and granted, it's funny, but
it's funny.
At the same time, they're just standing next to Becca, and they're all
So
filthy.
they get a photo op. Lincoln gets a photo op with Becca that looks like they just got married.
Yes. And he takes the photo with him with the rest of the boys. He and Becca have a cute little moment. They talk for a while.
This is in the after party.
Yeah.
I realized it's not called a cocktail party at the end of group dates. It's called an after party.
But it is a cocktail party of sorts.
They're all drinking.
Yeah, they're all drinking, and they all rotate into the kissing booth with Becca for a while and say oh, you're so pretty. So Lincoln puts his photo on the table. And what follows is 10 minutes of him standing the photo back up and Connor knocking the photo back down over and over and over
other guys
again.
making comments like, hey, we don't want to see that, man.
Yeah.
And Lincoln's kind of egging them on, going like, this is my future wife, guys. Like, he is egging them on.
No, he is egging them on. Don't get me wrong. There are no winners in this story, basically. Lincoln is being forward about the fact that he won the competition, and he's being braggadocious.
Exactly. That's exactly what he's being, and I was going to use the word braggadocious. That's really funny.
Look at us.
Yeah.
SAT 600 students, both of us right here.
And,
I think 600's bad.
Is it?
I don't know.
So
sorry,
Connor gets like super upset about this, more upset than a person would normally get over somebody bringing in a photo.
Yeah, so like at first you're kind of against Lincoln because you're like, all right, he's being kind of a jerk, he's waving in their faces, and then Connor he first slaps it on the ground in front of the fireplace.
Yeah.
And then Lincoln tries to pick it back up, and then
he puts it back on the table.
Yeah, and then Connor grabs it again.
Well, no, because Lincoln steps out of the room, I think. Lincoln steps out of the room.
No, I think he's watching
he's right
this.
there?
I'm
really?
pretty sure he is. And he just, like, lobs it, like, star pitcher Randy Johnson killing a bird. He throws it into the pool with the fakest glass shattering noise I've ever heard overlaid over the scene.
It probably did not shatter because it actually landed in the water.
Yeah, it did. So, like, unless he broke through a pane of glass on his way to the pool, I don't think, whatever. Anyway, so this happens. Lincoln has been getting a weird edit with the photo where you notice this, Mom. He is sitting on a couch speaking to it. And I refuse to believe this is unprompted.
Gosh, it was so bizarre. This was before the smashing, obviously.
Yes, I would have to be...
He's sitting on a couch to himself with the picture, talking to it like it's a person.
The level of boredom I would need to have to start speaking to a photo I took of someone not 10 minutes ago is very
It's
high.
Almost psychologically worrisome.
No, shut up. Okay, the fact that you're saying that means you've fallen for the show's wiles. It means that you're genuinely believing that they're like...
We believe that this is a producer.
You say we. I believe this is a producer. Mom's like, oh, what a troubled young man. They got to you. You're already done. Off the show.
Anyway, even though Lincoln is a very hot guy who seems super nice, I think he's a goner.
Yeah, no, well,
he's not staying.
He's not.
He stayed this episode, but he's not staying long term.
I think part of the reason for that is that if you get caught up in drama, for the most part, from what I've seen in the show, you're done. Like, if we look at Lauren B, if we look at Becca, they all kept their noses clean, and they all persevered.
Definitely. So what happens is, Lincoln tattles.
Yeah, he does. Well, okay, before Lincoln tattles, though, she's hanging out with Jean Blanc.
Oh, yeah. And Jean Blanc is nice.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
No, they have a wonderful little convo. I still really like him. He's the fragrances guy from last episode who's like...
Oh, I forgot he was the fragrance
You did?
guy.
How did you forget that?
Oh, my gosh.
That was
I totally
my
forgot.
point for him. So then, yeah, he's the guy that Becca says smells good.
And I guess he's just a really sincere guy, and he has a good heart, and Becca's really falling for him. Like, you can tell, like, in her heart, like, she's like, I really like this guy.
He has this kind of weird moment where he says something kind of scripted. What was it? Well, okay, not scripted, but you can tell he rehearsed the line in his head, and when he said it, it came out kind of weird. He was like, oh, what? Your eyes are so delicious, but, you know, it's even more, those lips, I bet.
Yeah.
And then he leans in for a kiss, and you can tell he kind of fumbles and says it too fast, and it's like, you win a participation trophy, Jean Blanc, and you also win the group date rose.
Yes,
which he does get it, because Lincoln
it.
comes into tattle, and tattling never gets you points. It never gets you points.
Yeah, you can't tattle. You'll never be a winner when you tattle. So Lincoln tattles, and it looks like he's crying at this point, but I don't think he's actually crying.
That's weird, because you said about 40 times last time. Is he crying? He's crying. I think he's crying.
It
He's not crying.
Like he was crying. At the end of the episode, he was definitely crying.
Yes.
When he was back at the house with the other boys.
Yes, he was. Yes,
he was definitely crying the next day.
But
it would seem like he was crying when he explained what Connor did, and he was like, that thing was the most precious thing in the world to me, and I wanted to show it to my mom.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Becca goes to talk to Connor.
Yeah.
She pulls Connor aside.
Okay, so she pulls Connor aside, and she's like, so I hear you acted kind of aggressively towards Lincoln, and you threw his photo, and he's like, oh, maybe a little, but listen, he was being a jerk, and that's not me. I just want you to know that's not me. Yeah,
well, the thing is that, like, how is Becca supposed to determine someone's personality based on, like, 5 minutes of behavior, 4 minutes of which was aggressive?
Yeah, and especially because, like, okay, Lincoln was provoking him, sure, but not to the point that I think it merited throwing in smashing of objects. I mean, he wasn't, like,
walking around with the photo in his hands, like, putting it in other people's faces. He had it on the table.
Yeah, and now granted, he did keep putting it back up after several people put it down, but at the same time, like, it seems a scotch too far. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, so Becca's, like, disappointed in Connor, and she doesn't know if she can trust him.
Yeah, I hope they mention this in the job description for the Bachelorette, where it's basically, like, part-time adult trying to get married, part-time kindergarten teacher.
I know,
or you have to, like, where people tattle, and you have to be like, okay, listen. So what happened? I need your side of the story. You have to mediate its lunacy. For these adult men, he broke my photo. He's putting his photo on my face. I don't like it. I like that girl.
It's so awful.
It's crazy.
It's so awful. And meanwhile, she's supposed to have romantic feelings for these gentlemen.
How does that friggin' make you look as a marriage candidate? Like, when you're supposed to be,
like, the mom, like, policing unruly kids.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How can you, like, have loving feelings for them?
So no one goes home. She doesn't send anyone home, which makes me think she's already softer than
Rachel. Rachel would have sent someone home.
Yeah, Rachel would have cut all the boys on that date just for associating with the drama.
Definitely.
Rachel was brutal. Anyways, no, because I listened to the statistics thing, and apparently Rachel cut the most candidates during dates out of everyone else in history.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
I did not know that.
Anyways. So
the end of the group date was nice. I mean, she gave the rose to Jean Blanc.
It ended more or less peaceably.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, really.
Then we get a cut back at home with Lincoln talking to the other boys. Very broken up about the photo. Mom mentioned this earlier, but there are tears.
There are real tears. And then some guys are being sympathetic, and then other guys
are being crappy about it.
Yeah, they're making fun of him.
Yeah, which, like, okay, this is obviously Jordan. This is obviously Jordan. He gets a villain edit where he's like, puh, man crying, get over it, man. Men don't cry. You gotta get over it. You gotta be the tough boy. And I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. This is standard villain talk. And then he makes fun of his accent.
Yeah.
Where he's like, London, go back to Britain. I think you're a wanker. And I'm like...
and then they all say wanker. Like, he's talking to, like, 3 other boys.
Yeah, well, he's talking to his cronies, basically, who are like, crying. Yeah, no good. But, like, why bring his heritage into this? Which he's
weird.
Not even British. I think he's Nigerian. And
he's Nigerian. Maybe
if he learned English,
maybe he was schooled. Maybe he went to university in the UK or something.
Like,
but he's not originally from
South
there.
African accents sound British. It seems very weird. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it was insane. Jordan's totally run out of material by this point. Get a better actor next time. Sorry, Bachelor.
Definitely.
Anyways.
So then, there's the one-on-one date.
Yes.
And Blake, my pick, gets, which Lincoln is also my pick, which unfortunately for me, I don't think he's going to last very long. But Blake gets the one-on-one. Remember, Blake was the one with the animals.
Yes, Blake is the white boy with the animals.
Yes. He has Bradley the horse and the ox. We don't know the ox's name.
Can you imagine how good it had been if they brought Bradley the horse on this date?
That would have been so good.
It would have been amazing. All right. Blake has not stood out to me so far besides bringing animals on set.
So they get into not Rachel. Oh my goodness. Becca and Blake get into.
I wish, God, if Rachel were on every date in this season, just like Rachel made the funniest joke I've heard in the entire franchise.
What did she say? I can't remember.
She was like, so you have to dig the thing out of the cake, but you can't use your hands, and when you can't use your hands, what that mouth do? And then everyone on the set giggled, and I was like, oh, I'm into it, Rachel. I'm into it. I have a soft spot for dirty humor.
That's funny. Okay.
Anyways.
So Blake and Becca are sitting in the limo, and Becca makes some comment about how this is her first actual date since
she also
being
makes a comment on how
Ari.
they're driving into like Harlem.
Yeah.
Like they're
like in the slums. It looks
like,
so bad.
It's pretty sketchy. Like when she steps out of limo, there's like a puddle on the ground that's like kind of discolored, and there's
like graffiti all over the buildings, and it looks really bad. And at the far end, once they get out, there's Chris Harrison looking like an axe murderer.
Yeah, Chris Harrison
alone
in a suit at the back of an alley,
holding a sledgehammer over his shoulder,
approaching the unarmed Bachelorette and her suitor, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys have insurance?" Never mind. Like that shady level of like, you know. So he goes up to them and he says, "Go inside the warehouse."
No, first he says, "You've got some equipment here."
Oh yeah, that's right.
He shows them these what Blake refers to as onesies.
They're jumpsuits. They're not
coveralls.
onesies.
Definitely
When he called them onesies, Mom laughed for like 5 minutes. I think you've gotten the giggles out of your system, but you were very tickled by that.
So funny because, of course, as you guys probably know, onesies are little t-shirt snappy things for babies. So they put on these coveralls, and it's really cute. I noticed that Becca, in her coverall, she had a little like cute little belt that goes over it.
Oh, really?
With a little like emblem or something. Like it's a female coverall or something with fashion.
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be?
I think
thought
so,
I thought it was like Bachelorette of the Year or something, where she has like a WWE belt. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, and they both get a sledgehammer.
Yeah, they do, and then they go inside, and
it's a huge warehouse.
Huge warehouse, yeah.
With all these trinkets.
Yeah, and a TV playing.
Well, many TVs.
There's
like
series
10
of
TVs.
With Ari proposing to Becca.
On loop.
They have that awful gray couch that Ari proposed to Becca.
No,
that broke up with Becca on. That we had to watch for like an hour straight.
Yeah. Then there are all kinds of... Oh, there's a race car.
And it says
Ari Jr. on it.
Yeah.
It says Ari Jr. on the license plate.
I don't know why.
And all these little trinkets. I don't know. There's like Bachelorette champagne bottles?
Yeah, there's a little table.
There's like a ton of them.
Yeah, so basically what it is it's a timeline of trinkets from Ari's dates with Becca.
Yeah, which is really creepy because...
Is it?
Well, no. I'm just saying it's creepy because you're on a one-on-one date with somebody else.
Yes. Okay, no, okay,
with someone you're
the
trying
kicker.
to build a future with.
Yeah.
And so now, again, up for the billionth time,
yeah,
you're reminded of your past.
And hey, guys, don't get sick of it, because third group date brings it back up.
Yeah,
again.
it just seems like it's an ongoing theme with Ari. And so Becca at first is a little bit uncomfortable.
And out from behind a DJ booth steps Lil Jon, who is a rapper.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's a rapper or a DJ or a mixer or whatever.
I don't know.
But regardless, he has both skills.
Excuse us for our ignorance on Lil Jon. You guys probably know more than we do.
Oh, I know more than you do, actually.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of who Lil Jon is, if you've ever seen the Lazy Town cake video that is mixed in with Lil Jon, that is who that is. It's very good if you haven't seen it yet.
Is it Little John or is it Lil Jon?
It's a Lil Jon.
Lil Jon, like Lil Sebastian.
Well, yeah, it's like Snoop Dogg. You know, you gotta kind of overlook the grammar a bit.
So they're in this place and they get the sledgehammers and Lil Jon turns on the music and they just start smashing
he pumps
stuff.
Turn down for what? And they just start going ham with the sledgehammer. Very entertaining date to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Becca's
also,
like, at first she's like, I don't really like hitting things, but I think I could get into this.
Yeah, which like weird date for someone who's like hitting things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone would party down on that a little bit.
So they're
at
just
least.
smashing everything to pieces.
They are. Which okay.
It's so nuts. It's funny. It's kind of funny.
It is funny. Prognosis. Good date or bad date?
Good date.
Yeah, I kind of agree on this. We're like, you know, because there are some real stinkers. For the most part, one-on-ones are extremely, extremely good, well-choreographed dates.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes with the right person, like, they can jump ahead of the line.
So
really fast.
This happened in Rachel's season with Peter, where, like, the second they went on their date, we were like, oh, Peter's gonna freaking win.
Yeah.
And now, granted, he didn't because of extraneous circumstances, but if it hadn't been for him not wanting to marry her,
right,
he would have won the season only based off what we knew from his first
exactly.
date.
So this one goes extremely well. Like, she seems so happy with Blake.
Which
they're really getting along. No, they're not super conversational from what we saw.
No, they had a little talk. They told her about this old girlfriend he had that broke up with him, I think.
Yeah, they had a really fast relationship, kind of like Ari and Becca did.
Not that fast, hopefully.
Well, he said it was 2.5 months where he proposed
so
or something.
That fast.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyways, so yeah, they talk for a little while, and it seems good. It seems amicable. I can feel that she really likes him. There aren't necessarily sparks like there sometimes are in other parts of the show.
She's really kissing him a lot toward the end of the day.
They do Mac. They do
kiss a lot. And she even goes in for, like, more of it. You know, he like, backs up from her and she's like, oh, wait a minute, you come here.
You're coming again for a second. Jeez,
and, you know, and it's funny because she did, in her cut, she did say, I do see myself with Blake. I do see myself, which is, it's early to be saying that.
It is.
But she does say that. She says, I see myself marrying Blake.
Man, I don't know. She really likes him. Anyways,
yeah, she really, really likes him.
Which I think part of my thing is that they didn't talk much during the Smash part. Now, granted, the music was maybe really loud.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny. So, at what point does Lil Jon turn up the Bachelor music?
Yeah, and he puts his finger on another knob that just has tape over it and says Bachelor, and he turns it up, and like the stereotypical Bachelor like sit down and talk music plays. It's very good.
And they sit down on the couch, don't they? Or it's a different couch. It's not the breakup couch. They sit down on a different couch.
I think they tear up the breakup couch.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's so funny. But yeah, so she really likes Blake. The one thing that Becca does talk about with one-on-ones is she said, you know, the thing about dates during the season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette is that it's so different from your traditional dates because of activities like this.
Yeah.
She says you get to know the person on a different level and under a different capacity. So actually it breaks more barriers.
It does. I think that's good feedback because I don't think the show works. I genuinely don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are some marriages that have come out of it. And also, beyond that, it's a series where you need to make split-second decisions and you need to form those connections very, very quickly if you're going to even, you know, have them.
And you need to go with your gut a lot more.
Do.
Yeah.
So I feel like these dates are really good for that. But anyways.
So Blake gets the rose.
Blake does get the rose.
For the one-on-one date.
Which it's not. I feel like it's not that hard to get.
It's not that hard, but there are instances in which
Ari had a really crappy date last season. That was so bad. But anyways, so then after this, we cut back to the mansion, and the last date card is revealed.
It's a group date.
It is a group date.
It is a group date, and there are...
Which is standard fare for the first episode. This is a group date.
So I did write down who is on this group date. So there's Colton, Garrett, Chris, Leo, Kristan, Wills, and Alex. Those are the 7 men that are on this group date. And there are about 3 men in the house that don't get a date that week.
I think there are 2, yeah.
There are 2, yeah.
Which isn't unusual. I think, however, they do both get roses at the rose ceremony.
They do?
I think, well, at least one of them does.
At least one of them does. I think the other one doesn't.
It's long hair, blonde boy. But yeah, which, like, you know, it sucks. They did get shafted on that a little bit, but I feel like Becca's willing to kind of give them another chance, and they'll probably get dates next week.
Yeah. So they get on a school bus.
Yeah,
they have no idea where they're going to, and they wind up at a school? Is it a school? It's like a school gym.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they arrive at the school courtyard, and Becca is standing in the middle of the field, and the bus door opens, and she's just, like, swarmed by them, basically. Yeah. It's very funny. And then they go into a gymnasium,
where
and
they're
3 small children
with balls
assault the men. It's very good.
Oh,
there are 2 boys and 1 young girl who's apparently their ringleader. And then the boys come in and she's like, open fire. Fire all batteries. And then they have this, what's it called? Baseball server. It's an auto server.
Exactly.
Set up.
Oh my gosh, and they're just pelting balls at them.
Yeah, so they're firing balls at the boys, and the boys are all.
And these are dodgeballs, by the way.
These are dodgeballs. Yes, no, I don't. These are not bowling balls. They're not shooting to kill yet.
Right.
But,
or even baseballs, which would hurt very much.
Yeah, no. So they're playing little skirmishes of dodgeball, and at one point they're just.
And so the kids are yelling to the guys, "Hey, you're like Ari." They keep saying Ari jokes or whatever. Like, don't be like Ari.
Hey, ABC, these are children. If they watch The Bachelor, they're already ruined for life.
Exactly.
You've told them to say this bad thing that they said. Why? Don't do it. I don't know.
It's really crazy.
I think my favorite part of this segment is when they're aiming the server machine at one of the boys, and then they're like 50 miles per hour, and then the girl's like, more power, increase the power. Like she's the emperor from Star Wars, and like 80 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour
they
balls.
Go 100 miles per hour.
They do, which like,
that's gotta hurt.
That has to hurt, even if it's a dodgeball. Like I expected it to go through them and leave like a cartoonish hole as he fell down dead.
It is so crazy. So after they practice this dodgeball game, then they go into a trampoline like trampoline stadium.
Yeah, and Chris is up in the stands with some old pervert.
With Fred Willard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Willard, I guess, who's like a sports announcer or retired sports announcer, perhaps.
We didn't do our homework on this.
Yeah, we didn't do our homework.
He talked about a nudist colony for a minute and then never spoke again.
Oh, that's right. He did. I was like, you said pervert. I was like, why is he a pervert? Oh, yeah. Nudist colony.
Which, hey, no judgment. But if that's my only impression of you, that's my only impression of you, you know?
So the guys come out dressed in, one team has pink shorts, hot pink shorts, and hot pink shirts on.
Yes.
And the other team is called the Green Frogs, and they're dressed in green.
Yeah. The pink team gets eliminated instantly every round except for Leo.
Except for Leo, and Leo takes on the other team like the entire time, every single game.
This is entertaining to watch. Becca's kind of enjoying it too. They've got a stand full of people.
She's like super impressed with Leo and his stamina. She's like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Oh no, sure. I would jump once and then be wheezing and I would collapse instantly. So it is impressive. And it's also, I feel like dodgeball is a very entertaining and good bonding sport just because it's like, it is competitive, but at the same time it's very silly and you can make mistakes and no one's really going to blame you for it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's a really fun time, and it's always fun when you see the guys like they have to dress up in something, some sort of costume or something, and it's kind of cute. It's really cute.
Well, because we mentioned that all one-on-one dates are good, but a lot of not that they're all good, but that they all have good premises. A lot of group dates can be stinkers.
Yeah.
Like we heard about a group date on Ben Higgins' season on Rose Buddies, which we did not actually watch, but and the group date basically involved going to an island with a bunch of pigs.
Oh yes.
And the girls had to feed the pigs.
The girls.
But animals that are fed tend to be very aggressive, so the pigs were chasing the girls around in the water and like getting really aggressive, and the girls were like freaking out about it.
Yeah, that was too funny.
So not all of them are
Or
winners.
like for example, the groups will get way too competitive and then they'll start whining and crying just because like their team lost.
Which was kind of the case with last season, last group date a little bit. Anyways, but no, this one was all very friendly. Leo complained a little bit about his team getting out, but it was like, you know,
it was pretty it was non-confrontational.
That said, we do get a little confrontational afterwards.
Did we?
Not between the boys.
Oh, no, not between the boys.
But between the Bachelorette and a contestant. So this is where we do one-on-one time. I really liked the setup for the one-on-one time. They had this little pool.
It was really pretty. It was a nice scene. It was very romantic.
I loved it. Yeah, no, they do great with the set dressing on this show.
Yeah. But Will's actually got the first. I think Will's pulled her aside for the first part. He was the one with the flowery shirt.
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he has really pretty eyes.
Yeah.
I think he might be mixed. I think he's African American and maybe white. I don't know. He could be African American and Latino. I don't know, but he's got some sort of mix. He's got like greenish bluish eyes. He's really, really good looking.
And he seemed like a nice boy.
Yeah, he seems like a really good guy, a really nice boy. Becca's super impressed by him. And she's like smoochy with him.
Well, she was also smoochy with Lincoln and with
Blake.
Yeah, with Blake. We made fun of Ari last season for
smooching
kissing
with
contestants
a lot of people.
early.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's not.
Maybe it's
she's
everyone's
not kissing
predilection.
as many people.
No. Okay, that is true. I think Ari gave everyone
Ari
the
is
face.
like pretty much. It's like an equal opportunity kisser. Like, you know.
I remember this one moment last season where I think Chelsea pulled him aside to talk about why she deserved to win because she had kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And she pulled him aside and started talking, and I was basically, oh wait, we're talking, like perking up, ready for kisses.
Puckering up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, then afterwards, they did end up kissing for quite a while after, even though it was a tattle moment. It was like a complaint moment. People never get kisses on tattle moments. It just doesn't happen. Anyways, whatever.
Exactly.
This isn't his season. This is Becca's season.
So Becca's like super impressed with Will's. She really likes him.
Yep.
Then you see Colton talking on the couch with another one of the guys and saying that he has something that he needs to get off his chest and he needs to reveal it to Becca.
At this point, Mom and I turned to each other and we were like, oh, good.
Yeah. So the thing is, Colton is one of my picks. He was my pick because the first guy I picked got booted. And I was really under the impression that Colton would leave this time, too.
Yeah. Okay, hold on, wait. Before you told us what was your gut reaction to this?
I thought he had a girlfriend back home.
I thought he had a girlfriend back home. Yeah, that's what it usually is.
Yeah.
Where it's usually like, listen, I was dating this girl for a little while, and it is what it is. But it wasn't serious. I promise you.
They always have like some sort of explanation that they like broke up like a month before the show, when in reality they broke up because they went to the show or something.
Yeah, and then the Bachelor's like, I'll think about it, and then they usually are pretty gracious about it. They're like, oh, it's okay. I know you're here for me.
In this case.
All right, this one defied my expectations. You talk about it for a little bit.
So here's the thing. Matt and I kind of disagree about the reasons why Becca was upset with this, just because I think it's really hard to know how the relationships are formed on the season of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So one of Becca's friends, Tia, was a contestant on Ari's season. Was an international superstar on Ari. I really liked Tia. She was very, very good. She is amazing. I love Tia too, and she was really one of the front runners. She was. She went to Hometowns. She was also one of. She went to Hometowns. She went to Hometowns. Yeah, she went to Hometowns. I think she went to Fantasy Suites. No. That was Kendall. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. She was the final four, but Becca and Tia became really good friends on Ari's season. Yes, that I don't doubt. And so Colton reveals that in January of this year, he was in a relationship with Tia. Now, he reveals this to us, and I'm like, oh, is that all? And Mom's like, I don't know. This could go sour. Yeah, so I thought it could go sour. Immediately. He pulls Becca aside, and we watch her face as he is telling her. Her face. I've never seen her so serious. I've never seen Becca. We've gotten a lot of footage of Becca. We watched a 2 hour.
like uncut footage of her breaking up with Ari, I've never seen her get this serious. It was scary. Genuinely.
It was scary. She was pissed.
Which, like, we had a conversation about this last night. I don't really get it.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, because she says to Colton, I really am attracted to you, and I really like you. I'm thinking there's something else with not Tia, but with Becca and Colton that we're not seeing.
That's very possible.
I'm thinking that, this is, as we mentioned, this is a very incestuous show.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, all the contestants from all the other shows, they tend to see each other at parties, after parties, probably premiere parties.
Oh, shoot.
And I am thinking that
But
Becca,
okay, but wait, then how did she not know that he dated Tia?
Well, she was with Ari. She was engaged to Ari already. Maybe she had met Colton at a previous time. I don't know.
But it seemed to surprise her. The news seemed to be a deal breaker for her.
One of the things that Becca did mention was that I'm really disappointed that maybe Colton came onto the show expecting Tia to be the Bachelorette.
Right. Now, okay, I turned to Mom and I was like, they know who the Bachelorette's going to be, right? But apparently you said...
Oh, she was engaged to Ari until the last minute.
Well, yeah, and also, when the boys are signing up for casting, they have no idea who they're going to get.
They have no idea, because they cast them usually 2 to 3 months ahead of time.
It's crazy to me, because if this is a show that's supposed to be about love and about seeing someone and learning about someone and, like, wanting to commit to them based off that, they're coming on for a woman.
Yeah, and they basically don't know.
Yeah,
they
which
don't
is
know
crazy.
Until very soon before the show starts.
How's your pitch for someone? Tinder dates have more intimacy than this,
right.
Where they go on and they're like, "Oh, girl, you're good too. I was expecting other girl. This is fine."
Yeah,
like whatever.
I mean, maybe just the fact that they know that they are all previous contestants of The Bachelorette.
Yeah,
The Bachelor.
That's a large pool though, because if you look at Ari, he came on from like 3 seasons earlier.
Many more. It was 5. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but
Becca.
Here's the thing that baffled us is that Becca was super upset. Like, she was upset as if someone had crushed her heart, upset. So it just leads me to believe that there's something else between her and Colton, or maybe there was just chemistry that she felt.
Or she and Tia are, like, really,
and
really,
they're besties,
really, really close.
And the thing is, Becca felt perhaps that by dating Colton, that she would be disrespecting Tia.
Yes. No, that makes sense to me. At the same time, though, like, if I were on the show and if someone had said I was dating your best friend... Yeah. I wouldn't be too fazed by it, I feel like. I don't know. Especially if they're aware of it, which it seems like Tia was aware of him coming on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, and it all depends on when Colton actually broke up with Tia.
Yeah. We do get a promo for the next episode that shows that
Tia's on the show next episode.
And Colton is on a date.
Yeah. Whatever. So we're going to understand what this really is.
He's dead though, right?
Well, he got the rose this time, but maybe she just kept him on because they knew this next episode was coming.
He's
with
so
Tia.
dead. Like, that's the thing. He's A, on a group date. B, on a group date involving him having drama. I legitimately don't believe
he's a cute guy, and it's really too bad. Like,
yeah.
It's really too bad. Like, I liked him a lot.
We're already talking about him in the past tense. How's your roster, Mom, that you're losing 2 contestants in the first 3 episodes?
I don't know yet. I mean, Colton's still on, Lincoln's still on, but I've got Blake. And how's your roster? You've got Ryan. Ryan got a rose.
I've got Garrett, Jordan's safe for at least half the season.
And Garrett definitely is safe.
Yeah.
I think Garrett will get the next one-on-one.
I've got a promising roster. I think he will as well.
I think we saw in the promos that he did have a one-on-one. I don't know if it's the next episode or the one after, but
she
likes Garrett a lot.
She does. He talked to her at the pool.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to be greedy, but I want to spend more time with you.
I know, and she was like, he's so mesmerizing.
Yeah.
She said she really was so attracted to his looks. Like, she's like, he's a hunka.
So we go home. She's still...
Oh no, Wills gets the...
Will's the date rose.
I'm sorry, I can't even talk. Yeah, Wills... Because his name's Wills. I expect it to be Will.
Yeah.
Will got the date rose.
Yeah. We go home. There's still some...
And Becca's still, like, she's reeling.
She's broken.
She is broken
This
and
affected
reeling.
her more than anything else in the episode,
I don't understand
like.
why. Like, I think here's the thing with Becca, and it's really unfortunate because she's such a beautiful woman, and obviously all these guys are pining for her.
You're setting up a lot of conditionals for this.
But she's so insecure.
You think so?
I think she is. Like, she's like, I'm so afraid that something's gonna happen to me like happened with Ari.
I mean, can you blame her? I don't know. Like, on one hand, yeah.
Not every guy is Ari, though. You know, I mean, not every guy is Ari.
You're right. But can you imagine getting married, or at least not engaged to someone for like a month, and then all of a sudden they're like,
2 months, yeah.
Hey, I like this other woman better than you, and I feel like what we did was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, I get that it was short, but at the same time, I really can't blame her for being cautious. I don't think that...
Cautious is good, but not being insecure.
I would disagree with you that she's insecure, though, because I feel like this is more a matter of between her and Tia than it is between...
Yeah, but I mean, she mentioned several times during the episode, not just with the Colton deal with Tia, but just in general.
Yeah.
So they get ready for the cocktail party, and she's wearing this absolutely, positively gorgeous blue sequins dress.
I love this dress. It's my favorite dress she's worn so far.
It is amazing. It is like this royal blue.
The color's really, really, really nice.
It's so beautiful, and it's beautiful on her, and it makes her eyes pop. Like, it's amazing.
During the last date, she wore like this weird
pantsuit.
Sci-fi. No, not the pantsuit. She wore this one sci-fi number that had this enormous open front.
Yeah, that was the pant. That was,
was it
pants. It was pants. What was it? A pantsuit. It was like a pants fancy dress, but yeah, it was pants.
So she walked in, and Mom was just like, okay.
Yeah. It was pretty darn revealing. I mean, at one point, I think her boob was sticking out, like literally.
Really? Oh, I didn't notice.
It was kind of hanging out.
I did not notice. Anyways, so they go back. There's still some scuttlebutt about Lincoln's photograph between the boys.
Yeah, well, the thing is, at the cocktail party, the first person that pulls her aside is Connor, and Connor has a photo of himself from the obstacle course.
Yeah, and he shows it to her.
And he throws it in the pool.
And he has to throw... Okay, this part's actually okay, where basically I think Connor's trying to say, like, you know, I regret my earlier actions and I want to kind of talk to you, make up for it. I wish he'd apologize to Lincoln, but this is okay. Connor's fine in my eyes.
It's
like
okay.
I said, this is not intense drama. This is not like Kenny and Lee a couple seasons ago where, like, that was some really, really bad blood, and there really needed to be, like, an intervention at some point to be like, hey, stop being so crabby to each other. This is not that.
What we need to remember, too, is that at these cocktail parties, there is alcohol.
A lot of drinking, yeah.
And these cocktail parties, even though the cuts are very short, they last a good 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah,
at least,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They go on forever.
For every boy to talk to her?
They go on forever. So... in 6 or 7 hours, people can get quite ripped.
Well,
right?
Ripped?
No, wasted.
I mean, you could also get ripped in 6 to 7 hours if you're doing reps the whole time. What?
Okay, wrong
there are a lot of euphemisms for drunk. You did not use any of them. Anyways, I think also my favorite moment about this kind of drama in the house, where it's just silly, dumb drama, this happened earlier during the first group date, is that basically all of the other boys are the CNN of the drama, where it cuts to them and they're like, so my opinion on the photograph, now listen, the photograph has gone on for a good long while, but I think that Lincoln's overreacting about the whole thing. Yeah. And then I'll cut to another boy and he'll be like, I disagree. I think Lincoln's totally justified about the photograph. They're like news anchors. It's the weirdest thing.
It's really funny. So Becca is in this cocktail party, and she's talking to the guy who wore the chicken suit. His name is David.
Al from Al's Toy Barn.
Yeah, Al from Al's Toy Barn. And David, who is a very serious guy. He's not like a goofy guy.
Well, okay, I'm disappointed by him because I thought he was. Because last episode he showed up in his chicken suit, and afterwards he was like, I'm kind of a fun, goofy guy, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a... What is he's like something in finances.
He's like a venture capitalist or like, I don't know, something like that.
Something very, very boring and dry.
And so all of a sudden Jordan's like, I'm gonna get some attention.
So we get the cameras in the bathroom with Jordan. He's stripping.
He's stripping down naked. Now he is wearing underwear. And that's all he's wearing. And shoes, apparently with no socks.
If you were not convinced that he is a producer pick, what man says, I want to stand out from the crowd and impress a girl?
I'm going to get naked.
Therefore, I'm going to undress and show my bits to her.
And just let my body wobble around as
maybe
in front of 20 other men.
Maybe I'm disillusioned with the way men's minds work. Because I know there's a lot of folks online who think that showing their wobbly bits to women is a great way to get them.
And, you know, women just don't like all the wobbly bits being wobbled around. Like, that's just not, it's not attractive to women.
Not to mention, she hasn't breathed a word to Jordan before
I don't think they've even had a single conversation.
No, but like her saying, oh, you got naked, that made me laugh, you get a rose.
Well, then no, that's a producer pick.
It is.
So Jordan walks in front of David and Becca, who are talking at a small table outside.
Yeah.
And does he even say anything? He kind of says, excuse me.
He puts his leg up on the chimney.
No, he doesn't.
He does. I remember him doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. But he does pose a little bit, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so yeah, he's like...
And so Becca's laughing like crazy. She thinks it's pretty funny, but she's shocked. I think it's more of a laughter of shock.
And also, if you wanted another piece of evidence that this is a producer scripted moment, the fact that he comes out right at the time the one guy he had beef with last episode is talking to Becca is totally scripted.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyways, whatever. So, what's his name?
David and Jordan. So Jordan is the male model who's stripped naked, and David is what you call is a white knight based on the events that happened.
Absolutely.
He was the chicken.
Yeah. So
capitalist.
with the villain, Jordan is obviously the villain by now. There's always some other boy who's like takes very serious issue with what the villain is putting down and is like, I'm gonna tattle. Every moment of FaceTime I have with Becca, I'm going to tattle about this other boy.
And not to mention, I'm going to confront the other man.
Yes.
Every occasion that I have, and I'm not going to let it go.
And this is going to get all the camera time in the entire show.
And that's actually what happened after this scene.
It's exactly what happened. So basically, he goes up to Jordan. He's like, so I feel like you're not respecting...
Oh, but before this, Jordan sits down on the couch with Becca.
This was insane. He talks to Becca.
Naked. He's naked. Remember, guys.
No.
He's got underwear on.
He has underwear on. He's not naked.
He's almost naked.
I wish. If he were naked, that would have made this scene 100 times better. It would have been extremely, extremely good. But he's almost entirely naked.
Sitting on the couch with Becca.
And he just starts this
soliloquy almost.
Insane monologue about how he wants a mini-me.
Yeah, he said he wants a little Jordan.
He's either A, talking about children, which is a normal thing to talk about with someone you want to marry in the future, or B, he is referencing Austin Powers, where the villain, Miss Dr. Evil, has another person with dwarfism on the set that he calls Mini-Me. If it's the latter, Jordan, what are you using your time for?
Like, seriously, it was funny because, like, it just emphasizes and explodes the fact that Jordan is 1,000% self-absorbed.
Yeah, well,
but he's an actor. I mean, he's an actor / model.
But, like, I'm fine with it.
That's the role he's playing. And so at one point, when does he put on the blanket?
If the villain's going to be, like, goofy comic relief, I'm okay with it. He grabs, like, a fuzzy blanket at some point and he drapes it over his shoulders. Yeah.
But, so, he's wearing this fuzzy blanket when David approaches him.
Yeah.
And so David's, like, super serious.
David is very, very, very upset. Which, again, that's another trait of the White Knight is, like, hates everything that the other guy does. No, by the way, some of the other boys in the house are like, oh, he's naked. Oh, look at that. He's naked. David is the only one that's like, you have mortally offended me and my family, and I will kill you for it.
Yes.
Like,
and he doesn't let it go.
No, not at all.
He's like, you are so disrespectful. And that was one other thing you mentioned, that this is called the disrespectful episode.
Yeah, the overarching theme, this happened during the photograph. This happened after the photograph. This happened, like, in the second group date, I think, even.
Yeah.
This happened at the very end.
During the cocktail party.
During the cocktail party. It's just every time a boy referred to another boy, they were like, you're being disrespectful. You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting Becca.
You're disrespecting the process or something.
Process, this journey, this bachelor. My Lord and Savior, Chris Harrison, is earning your disrespect right now, and I don't appreciate it. Yeah. But anyways, so he says that for half an hour. Jordan clucks at him for a while, and that's over. Nothing gets solved. But the after credit scene shows that we are going to get more of the Jordan-David battle in the future.
Right.
They are getting by the way, they're getting a 2-on-1 100%.
Yeah, and someone's going to get hurt, apparently. We don't even know if it's in that scene.
Yeah.
It might be in a different scene.
Oh, no, someone getting hurt? Yeah.
That we don't know what that is, and it might have nothing to do with Jordan and what's his name? Jordan and David.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the rose ceremony. But the rose ceremony.
So the rose ceremony was nice. I mean, it was pretty uneventful.
Mm-hmm.
What I was so there are 18 men left now.
Yes.
18 men are left in the house, which I think is a huge number still.
It is. She only cuts
like 3 people.
2 or 3 people.
Yeah, 3 people, which I was so surprised.
I know, it's crazy.
So the first 3 men she picks are Chris R., Jason, and John, which we don't know who they are.
No.
We have no idea who
literally
they are.
when I remember, wait, who are they again?
Chris R., Jason, and John.
Chris R., Jason.
We don't even know who Jason is.
The second guy, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of recognize him. The last guy, I was like, you walked on set and off set. I swear to God, they made you up on the spot. I've never seen your face in my life.
Then there's Clay, Mike, who I don't remember, and Connor.
I always feel like the second day picks are the weirdest picks. Cause it's like guys that stood out enough for her to not get cut off the bat, but guys that then you forget about completely and never stand out in the second
during
episode.
Rachel's season, I kind of got this strategy that they do. The producers tell them to keep certain people.
Yes, obviously.
And then the second thing is, I think the candidate or the Bachelor, Bachelorette picks certain people that they can later cut.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense as like safety.
So I kind of think that there is a strategy. It's sort of like there are people that you really, really, really like that you never want to get cut, or you want to cut them only if they're eliminated because you like someone better.
Yeah. But
they always pick certain people that don't make an impression at all that they keep so that the next episode they can cut them.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, yeah.
Then we get, so Connor definitely stays even after that drama. Then Leo, David, and Garrett all stay, which was no surprise, actually. Nick, Ryan, and Kristan stay. Jordan, Lincoln, and Colton stay. Again, with all the drama between Jordan, Lincoln, and Colton, I was really surprised that actually Colton stayed.
Yeah. Was Kristan the one that was absolutely beaning
Kristan
Becca
has the
with
gold...
dodgeballs?
Maybe
I know he's a former Harlem Globetrotter.
Yeah.
But I meant during the dodgeball date, there was one boy that just hammered her. I think it was him. I can't remember.
Okay.
No, but it was fine. I don't think it was a bad thing. Like on one hand, that was a cute little scene where their tactic was to hide behind Becca because they were like, no boy that wants to marry Becca is gonna hit her.
Exactly.
But Kristan was not having it and just smashed her with a dodgeball, which like, if she wants to keep things 50-50, he's going to play the game.
Exactly.
I don't know. I can kind of feel
cute.
that. It was
and Becca just seems like a good person overall with sportsmanship and everything. Yeah. She seems like she doesn't get offended easily.
No, definitely, which is nice.
That is really nice.
Because our last season was, I feel like, kind of touchy about some stuff. It was whatever.
Right. And then, of course, Blake, Wills, and Jean Blanc all got date roses, so they're on too.
Right,
so it'll be really interesting to see who gets the group dates, who gets the 2-on-1 next week, if there is a 2-on-1 next week.
I don't think there will be one yet, but I don't know. They tend to like to let their drama broil for another couple episodes.
And who gets the 1-on-1. So that'll be really... I'm thinking Garrett gets the 1-on-1 next week.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that. And I really thought overall this was a good episode. I like the fact that Jordan is the villain type just because he adds some humor to it. And it's not like Bibiana last season.
Oh my God.
Who was the first villain who was just whiny.
I think I almost like stopped watching and left the room because Bibiana was getting so much camera time. Yeah. Now, granted, I think Krista was arguably worse than Bibiana afterwards because she got just as much camera time and she was just as awful. But no, like they're the kind of villains I don't want to see because they detract from the show.
But Jordan was so funny.
Yeah, he adds some drama funny. And he's just kind of like weird and goofy. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it was really good. So like overall really good episode. I was super happy with it.
Yeah, I am too.
If you guys haven't watched it yet, I would say go ahead and watch it, and
it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. You can see it on ABC.
I think they run reruns of it later on. But yeah, and then we get a cut for next episode where someone's gonna die.
Yeah, or get bloody and
there's a ton of blood everywhere, and you see someone getting shuttled out by a gurney.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't look good.
Looking forward to that.
Well,
Anyways.
thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Please
Yeah.
subscribe to us on iTunes at On a Cloud Podcast.
Yeah, it'll be great. We're gonna keep coming out with episodes every week.
On Wednesdays.
Yep.
See you next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.